that Donald Trump has got a case. Take a listen.
I feel like Michael Cohen possibly and most likely went beyond any exception to attorney-client privilege and just, really puked it all up, everything he knew about Donald Trump. And that would be a breach of attorney-client privilege, and that would expose him to financial liability.
Matt, I just want to...
Okay, so Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg suing Ohio Congressman Jim Jordan, claiming that the House subpoena is a, quote, transparent campaign to intimidate and attack him. Our next guest, former acting Attorney General, former acting U.S. Attorney General, excuse me.
There we go.
Matthew Whitaker, next and frequent guest, one of our favorite guests,
Sir, he's
by
back
the
from
way.
vacation, so he's slowly easing
we're
in.
still getting off the runway, Mr. Attorney General.
He missed you last week on
You
the
made
show.
a good point last night. I thought that was the whole point of the attorney-client privilege.
Yeah, and, Michael Cohen can't be trusted to do anything. At this point in time, he's proven that his whole life's goal is to be the star witness in any case that will take him to get Trump. And this is the problem with people like this, is he's reckless and he appears to be willing to say anything. And in this case that was just filed by President Trump, you have a breach of the attorney-client privilege. It's one of the few privileges recognized under law, and it is the most sacrosanct. And there's very few exceptions to it. And I think if Michael Cohen told everything he knew about Donald Trump, he would go beyond any exceptions to the attorney-client privilege and expose himself to this liability that Donald Trump is trying to pursue right now.
Yeah, great points there. I feel like so many things have come of just this one case of, these 34 counts. Now we have Alvin Bragg who's suing Jim Jordan because Jordan says, look, you need to testify because you're using federal money. We want to know what's going on. Do you think that he's basically, suing Jim Jordan because he doesn't want to testify?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think there's several things going on. First of all, there's no doubt that Congress has a legitimate interest. I think that actually the most interesting interest they have is to see whether or not the federal campaign and elections laws are being used by a state prosecutor to prosecute a case. And if that's the case, then obviously Congress will need to rewrite those laws to make sure that they only have federal jurisdiction to enforce those laws. I think that was kind of assumed or known under federal law that, laws written by Congress are enforced by the feds. But, we're in a brave new world here where it appears that the district attorney in Manhattan has decided to use federal law as a basis for his case.
Yeah, and the 14th Amendment lays that out pretty clearly. It's pretty black and white about the jurisdiction that Congress does have in a federal case like this, which is why Congress is interested. I want to talk to you about the Trump team trying to get the Alvin Bragg case, the case that he was indicted last week on 34 counts, more than Bernie Madoff, by the way, which is kind of ridiculous when you think about it. They want to get that case tossed out of the local jurisdiction in Lower Manhattan and into a federal court. Is there any chance that happens?
Well, removal is oftentimes very facts and specific. And obviously, if it's a federal question and if it involves federal law, you could get it kicked out of state court and into the federal courts. Alvin Bragg obviously has, picked this case in this jurisdiction because it's favorable to him and to, his goals. But at the same time, I think this case demands a fair playing field. I don't think President Trump can get it in this venue. And so removal obviously should be seriously considered by not only the state court, but also the federal courts in receiving this case.
Yeah, a lot of moving parts in this case. Matthew Whitaker, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Great to see you, Matt. Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, good to see you both.